Good morning, everyone. Thanks again for joining us again after chatting to Justin Langer a little while ago. Great pleasure to have Marcus Stoinis, one of the heroes of last night's semi-final win against Pakistan here in Dubai. Welcome, Colin.
Well played, Marcus. Can you talk us through that tense ending where obviously you're up against it with a run rate from the start and got Australia home with an over to spare?
Thanks, Malcolm. Yeah, look, it was tense. Like every game of 2020, so usually the scoreboard dictates how you're going to play and what you need to do. So, it all happened so quickly last night. I think we can probably all agree that the game wasn't perfect from either team, but that's what happens in finals when the pressure goes on. So it was pretty much just working with Wadey. We were talking through. There was one short boundary, one longer boundary, certain bowlers that he felt he could target, certain ones that I felt I could target. So, and then in between, there's the chaos that's going on in your own head. So you're just trying to stay calm. You're trying to keep each other calm. You're talking through your plans, and you're just making sure you're really clear on what you want to do.
Thank you.
Adrice Malik.
Hi, Marcus. First of all, thank you very much for giving me time. Yeah, it's a good match for you people that you won the semi-final and now in the final, and best of luck for that. Is there anything special you people did in the practice to face Shadab and Shaheen, especially in the semi-final, because you people did something according to the plan like that?
They both bowled really well. So, whether we planned right or not is another question. But yeah, we do our planning, but it was nothing special. We treat every team exactly the same, really, and you do your homework, and the coaches filter through and give the information through training leading into the games. But yeah, they were very good side, both dangerous bowlers. But yeah, it's nothing to out of the ordinary. It's nothing much I can give you there.
Okay, thank you.
Jane Hope.
Marcus, just on T20 cricket, when it first fired up, it was a bit of hit and giggle, and now it's come so far. What would it mean to Australia and to this team to actually win the T20 World Cup, do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think obviously Test cricket and the Ashes, and we got an Ashes coming up, and that's what we grew up wanting to play. But then the transformation of 2020 cricket, it's not hit and giggle anymore in terms of the pressure's on, and every game, especially come this time of tournaments, and there's a lot of pressure and the way you have to think through the games. I think it's definitely become more than we first thought it was going to be when it came onto the scene. And yeah, so for the Australian team, I don't reckon many people gave us a chance leading into this tournament, apart from probably the players and the coaching staff. So it's definitely going to mean a bloody lot to us. And we'll be super proud when we bring that home for Australia.
And just one more on your great mate, Adam Zampa. How's his tournament been, do you think? How have you rated his performances, and how important is he for the final against New Zealand?
I think he's been brilliant. I think he was brilliant last night. He took complete control of his 4 overs and of the innings at that stage where they were going really well. I think the 2 overs of Starkey, where he had 2 overs for 8 runs, combine that with Zampa's 4 overs, and then Paddy Cummins bowled the third last over that went for 3. Yeah, very smart bowling. Zamps is getting better and better. What did he take the game before? I think he took 5. The great thing about Zamps is he's super honest. So he took his 5 wickets the other night, and he felt he didn't bowl well. And so that's a quality of a good player, I think, is when you're picking apart your own game and you understand exactly what you're doing.
Mel Farrell.
Thanks, Cole. Hi, Marcus. Congratulations. I've got 2. Hopefully, Cole will let me ask them. But first of all, you mentioned that you don't think people gave you guys too much of a chance. Has that been something that has perhaps spurred you on as a team at all?
I don't know if it spurs you on. Maybe individually, different players get spurred on by that stuff. I think something that's definitely been evident this trip is that, whatever feeling there might be on the outside, it's not on the inside. The team and the way the boys have been getting on, and the way we believe in each other, and the way we've been speaking to each other, and the confidence we feel about how we play, and it's as good as I've had in a long time playing for Australia. So yeah, maybe it does. Personally, sometimes I use these things to put a bit of fire in the belly, but it hasn't been spoken about really as a team.
And I'm just wondering, is there anything for that situation last night? Is there something that you've drawn on? IPL experience, Big Bash experience, what internationals? Is there something that you drew on to keep calm? You're talking about, the plans and the which bowlers and which side you might target. What did you draw on in that moment to keep level-headed and be able to do what you did?
Yeah, you definitely do draw on your past experiences. I think something that is probably lucky to me now looking back is I've played a lot of cricket. I've played a lot of 2020 cricket, and I sort of built that scar tissue. I've failed in situations. I've been told I can't finish a game. We've heard all these sort of things before, and I think you need to go through all that stuff and build that scar tissue to go then and stand in the middle in a pressure situation. It doesn't mean it's always going to work, but I think I've definitely noticed that the way that I do think through those situations has grown over the past couple of years, and also the fact that I think I was playing with my captain at Victoria when I was there for 6 years, so we knew each other very well. We're having fun out there as well as being serious. So you draw on a lot of things.
Thanks,
Alex Malcolm.
Well played last night, Marcus. Quick one on batting first. Obviously, the toss has played a huge role in the tournament, and every team under lights batting second has won. What have you learned out of watching your opponents and other games in terms of what type of tempo you're going to need if you are sent into bat on Sunday night?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think Pakistan actually batted really, really well at the start, and we know they've got two absolute gun openers, and the wicket did look pretty good, to be fair. So, I mean, hopefully, as these tournaments go on and we come into the finals, these wickets get better and better, and it does take that probably element of the game out of it a little bit more. But yeah, it is obviously that's what's been happening in the past round games and through the IPL as well. So I mean, it's still the cliches, I guess, of building partnerships and someone making a big score that usually gets you to that big score.
Do you have to be more ambitious with who you target and maybe do it a little earlier?
I think that all depends. A lot of it as on the fly. Ideally, yes, but I mean, if that new ball is nipping around and things don't go to plan early, then you've got to change that plan probably. But yeah, ideally, you get off to a solid start and you got wickets in the shed, and you do definitely need to pick your targets and have the courage to probably do it as early as you can.
And one quick one, you mentioned batting with Matty Wade there. Any good PG rated quotes from last night from Matthew?
What do I have for you? No, at one stage I think we needed probably about 60 off 30, and he looked at me and he goes, "What do you reckon?" I said, "You've got 30 off 15, I got 30 off 15." And he looked at me and he started laughing and he goes, and then I can't repeat the rest. So no, we had some good banter out there. He's a bloody funny bloke.
Thanks, mate.
Lockie McCurdy.
Hey, Marcus. Obviously, congratulations on the win last night. First ball, you've just seen Glenn Maxwell get out and you come out and hit a 6 off Khan. Was that always going to be your mentality going out there? You wanted to kind of assert yourself, or was it just there and you saw that it's there for me to hit?
Yeah, there were definitely some internal chat going on there. No, look, going into the game, my plan was pretty simple. If the spinner pitches up, you hit straight. If he drops short, try and hit over mid-wicket for 6, and anything in between, you're looking to take 1. So the main thing for me is in those situations, I think that's always the internal dialogue, is you're trying to figure out how much of the game situation you take into account, and then how much of what you do well you stick by. So yeah, it was definitely probably a shot I only committed to probably 90% because of that little bit of doubt that you do have going on. But that's the way you've got to play in 2020 cricket, and that's the way you got to play, I guess, if you want to win these games and I guess send a message to the opposition in the middle of the game.
Have you reflected any more, I guess, on that opening South Africa game now in terms of how close that game was, and really that was the margin between making the semi-finals and how important that result was now?
I have with Wadey. We did have a laugh just because we haven't had to do too much through the tournament, and the couple of times the pressure's been on. But it's brilliant because that gives us the confidence. It builds our little bond that we've got going on there. And it's a funny game, exactly right. Like you lose that one, the first game of the tournament. We're not even thinking about it now. It was a while ago. and we didn't have the opportunity, and then we wouldn't have had the opportunity to play last night, let alone play again in this final tomorrow. So I think that's why we've got the attitude of there's absolutely nothing to lose. There's only some great memories to be made for us and this team, and hopefully everything goes to plan and we have a great celebration and follow that up with a 10-year reunion down the track.
Thanks. Good luck on Sunday.
Back to Big Mel.
I just wanted to ask about, this is obviously very different for you from the World Cup in England, the 50 over World Cup a couple of years ago. You had a difficult time of it, and I don't think you played for Australia for about a year. I know that Wadey said after the game that he wondered if he was playing his last game. Did you ever wonder whether you'd played your last game, or were you confident that you'd always get back in at some stage?
No, I didn't wonder if I'd played my last game, but I definitely was wondering how long it was going to take to come back. So that's the unfortunate thing that happens at the level that we play. And that's what happens in big tournaments. Usually if things don't go to plan, there's players that miss out. We do joke with Wadey that we're out of the team 2.5 years ago. Now we're batting together at the World Cup, and how brilliant that is. And how good it is to have mates that you played together for so long with, and share that. You shared so many experiences, shared bonds, won Shield cricket, won one-day finals for state cricket. So so it's almost done a full circle there. But you're right. But for me, I did believe I was coming back. You never know how long you have to wait on the sideline for.
So from that time to now, have you changed your game at all, or the way you approached your game at all?
You're always changing. I think you change just by learning on the go. I think I've had a brilliant time in the IPL with Rick, who's taught me a lot, and a lot of that stuff. Like, I think you'd agree, the stuff that happened last night, it's not technique, and it's mindset. It's how you see the game. It's how you control your own emotions. So you do learn a lot as you go, but it's not always what we're practicing in the nets, I guess.
Thank you.
Thanks. One more quick one. If you can make it really quick, please, Idris. We've got another couple to get to.
All right. Thank you very much. Very quick. You are going into the final with the win against an unbeaten team. Is there any morale that's a special one for you people to face the New Zealand in the final?
Yeah, well, obviously Pakistan was probably the form team, the best team in the competition leading into that. These comps are so hard to go through undefeated. So I do feel for them. We haven't thought about it yet, but it's a great feeling the team, the way we're supporting each other, the way that we've enjoyed our trip. It's got a nice feeling. So hopefully there's something special there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Idris. And thanks everyone for joining, and a special thanks to Marcus first, taking some time out to have a chat today. Thanks, guys. We'll see you all on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you.